What's up, you guys? I'm Zach, back again. Do that, but better. I'm rolling solo today again, but I wanted to bring up a misconception that comes up a lot in CrossFit in particular, and is the difference between training and game day or a test. And because CrossFit not only is a methodology, so a fitness methodology, but it's also a professional sport, we get tied up into the game day in the everyday. And this is one of those things that not only can it lead to burnout, it can lead to injury, it can even keep people from coming in to the gym, I feel. Um, because you see people doing crazy things on YouTube, on ESPN when you're watching the games, and you think that, hey, this is what CrossFit is. It's all about competition. Hey, we're keeping track of our times on our workouts, our weights on our workouts, and I feel like it can't be farther from the truth. And when you think about what you're doing in the gym, we're training. We're training to get better at something. So everybody has their own idea of what they want to be progressing with their fitness. So some people just want to get their first pull up. Some people want to lose body weight. They want to increase their back squat. Maybe they're training for a Spartan race or some kind of obstacle race. They want to do a 5K. And the thing is that you don't get better at doing a 5K by doing a 5K. The the progress is going to come from breaking it down into pieces, getting better at these things, and building work capacity through your running, or if you're weightlifting, through your strength. Maybe even just progressing how you do the movement as opposed to that I did it. So thinking of going to the gym as a competition every day, yes, it can be fun, and there is friendly competition when you walk into a CrossFit gym. Yes, there's going to be a clock on. We're going to be recording our times and weights and reps and things like that. But really, what we want to do is just, am I doing a little bit better? Now, this also gets in people's heads very easily when maybe I took a few days off, or hey, I was really busy at work this week, and now all of a sudden my 1 week where I wasn't there, it turned into 3 weeks, and I'm not going to be able to do as much as I could, and we almost don't want to start again. And once again, remember that if my exercise is training, it's to help me build capacity. I promise that not doing something is not because I'm not where I was, is not going to get you what you want. And it's just like a person who says that I need to get fit before I go to the gym. It doesn't make any sense. If you're not gonna go to the gym because you're not fit enough, what is your plan to get to the spot where you can go to the gym? And being okay with doing what you do daily is really where you're going to make progress. Now, you can actually apply this same principle not only in in the gym, but also things like nutrition. And lots of the times we think that we need to do everything. We need to go super hard. We're going to do all the things. And really, all we need to do is get better at one small thing each time that we go into the gym, each time that we sit down at the table, we're making our food. And think of those days when you are doing things really well, as you're training. And when you start to get thrown off, that this is game day, right? It's, do I have the conditioning to be able to perform what I need to do in those really hard times? And now if we take that back to exercise, right? So I'm not going to run a 5K to run a 5K. I'm going to start with small things. I'm going to do a 200 meter. I'm going to do 400 meters. I'm going to run 800 meters. I'm going to do repeats. And this is where we're going to progress, so that when we do have to run that 5K, we maybe we built up these miles, we built up the speed, we built up the capacity, and now when we're thrown into this thing, we're going to be able to perform. And same thing with nutrition, right? So everyone wants to start on Monday, or I'm going to start next month because that's going to be better, because summer's over and I'm going to be back into my regular schedule. And instead of thinking of that as the time to work, that is the time that you're gonna train. You're gonna do all the easy things. You're gonna find, hey, I can prep my food right now because I have a little bit more time, and we're gonna start building the capacity to make the right decisions while we have all the time. So just like I'm going to the gym, and I'm just gonna build this capacity. I'm gonna put in the reps. I'm gonna learn each rep, and then when you go out into that test, you can use what you did. And when you're thinking of your exercise, we need to spend more days doing that training. And especially if you have a life outside of athletics, or just fitness in general. So if you have a family, if you have a job, and going to the gym is not your full-time job, then we need to look at what is most important right now, and what can I train right now in the gym. So taking that hour, and maybe I'm not going to squat the heaviest that I have ever done, but I'm going to squat better than I ever have. So now I look the same from beginning to end of that squat or that squat session, as opposed to, hey, I got this done. It was really hard. And think about this. Michael Jordan scored 55 points against the Knicks, but he didn't score 55 points every single game, right? Because that game is a test. It's, hey, this is what I can do. But then he went back and he did dribbling drills. He took millions and millions of shots, and they ran plays, and they refined them. And this is what most of our exercise is going to be when you're coming into the gym. And then on those days where we're retesting, so CrossFit is known for benchmarks. So Fran and Diane, where we're going to throw that in and go, you know what? We haven't done this in a while, but we've done these things. And now we can go all out. Because it's just like in football. Football plays 16, now 17 games a year. That's it. And the rest of the time they're practicing, they're training. And because if you keep punishing yourself and just going all out every single day, you are going to get hurt. You're going to get burnt out, and you're not going to get better. It's like even if you think that you take a test, and when you take this test, if you only studied for the test, so instead of just getting your general knowledge, if you were only like, all right, here, I have to take this test, and here's the questions, and I'm going to memorize these answers, you're going to do great on that test, but are you going to be able to apply that to anything else? Whereas if you were studying, you're going over it often, Now I can start applying this in different situations instead of, hey, I know that this is going to be the answer for this thing. So think about consistently coming in to work on something for that day, and let those other things, was this my best effort that I've ever done in my life? Let that stuff go. If you are nervous about going to the gym because you might not be at your top. Maybe you've been sick for a week or two. Maybe, especially right now, you see lots of people with this kind of thing in the age that we're in, where, hey, all of a sudden, hey, I can't breathe very well. So my training is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be as good. It's okay because it's not game day. But if I can keep putting in those reps, and now with this new situation, can I get better? Now I can keep going and make progress for the test when I need to do it. So remember that good enough is good enough. Remember that most of your exercise should be training, not testing. All right, because if you're testing every day, you're not going to get better. Just like in sports, if you are only playing games, there's very little that you're going to learn. You are going to learn some lessons, you're going to be able to take things back, but only if you go regroup and now use what you learned in the game, what worked, what didn't work, and apply it to your training. And now you can train on those pieces and put it back together in game time. You guys, I will see you next week at 12 o'clock for Do That But Better. If you ever miss an episode, you guys can always check us out on our YouTube page. If you have any questions or things that you want us to talk about, shoot us a DM either on Facebook or Instagram at CrossFit Chicago Heights on either of those. And we'll talk to you next week.